It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been a long
What's going
time.
on?
Yeah. All right.
See you.
Welcome
Are we-
back.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Glad you guys made
That's
it
good.
through all the stuff. The first
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, the sabbatical has been real. Wow. Look at Zach. He's so afraid of the microphone.
We've got our
He's-
producer here. For
he is-
those that
he
aren't
is.
seeing him on camera, we've got our producer, Zach Miller. He's
Yeah.
dabbling in monogamous homosexuality.
Yeah. I don't know. My,
Someone
videos,
call me a
videos not
guidance
great.
counselor, but okay.
Okay. All right.
Back on the rails, boys. Get back on the
That's
rails.
not even-
That was okay.
Yeah, that was
All those
fine.
are okay words. You can say
Yeah.
all that on the radio.
Yeah, it's the no, I won't say it.
Well, the innuendo.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, look,
It's the implication.
look, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's
And for
Out of
those of you
bounds.
on YouTube,
Wow.
we're here.
Why?
Coming to you
Because-
live from St. James Episcopal
Oh,
Church.
We are. We are.
St. James Episcopal Church.
Yeah. All right. So here we are on the Cast Your Faith podcast brought to you by I'm sorry, Cast Your Faith podcast presented by St. James Episcopal Church, sponsored by Old Republic Outfitters, brought to you by Kenneth's Wallet.
It's
Um,
a wonderful day on this podcast. We're thankful for all our sponsors.
right. So Kenneth, I believe you have a Cast Your Faith moment
I do.
that revolves around a supermarket,
I
or
do.
actually a supper market if you read my handwriting, but I think supermarket is what
Depending
it's
on
supposed to
whose
be.
notes you're looking at.
Yeah.
And it's weird to go from laughing and joking around a little bit to something serious, but this was really cool, right? So we were, a friend of mine and I were in Colorado recently, and we were at a grocery store. It's a grocery store we'd never been to. We didn't have any experience with this grocery store. And we got all our items together, went up to the register, proceeded to check out. And, we're from Texas. We want to talk to some people when we see people. And so Zach and I both make comments, hey, how you doing? What's going on tonight? Whatever, to this checker that was checking us out. And no reaction, nothing. It's like she was ignoring us. And both of us, I think, had the same response. We kind of waited it out a little bit and then said a little something else to her. Nothing. No response. Didn't even look up. It's like, man, I'm kind of feeling irritated at this woman because she hadn't said a word to me. It's kind of rude.
Did you let her know that you're a professional broadcaster?
I mean, I thought about it, obviously. But you don't want to pull that card out till you
No,
have
no,
to.
hold that in the pocket.
So we get our groceries. They're all bagged up. She bags the last item. She rips off the receipt and she signs to me, thank you. And at that moment, I just was as crumbled as a human being could possibly be, because I was building up, unrationable amounts of animosity towards this woman because I thought she was just being rude and not responding to me. And it turns out there was no option to respond. So we're walking out to the parking lot. I tell Zach the story. It's like, man, I'm feeling really broken up because this woman wouldn't respond to me, and I thought she was being rude, and I had this whole preconceived notion about who she was as a person, and then she just couldn't. And that made me feel awful, right? And Zach looks at me and he goes, man, I am glad you said something. I was feeling the exact same way. I was like, oh God, it's terrible. So we get in the car and we're getting ready to go home. And it got me thinking, we do this every single day, right? We get mad at people that we don't know. We have no idea about the journey that they're on. And we will get just unimaginably upset at these people. Why? We don't know what it is their day has been like. We don't know what their life has been like. We don't know what their struggle is. Shouldn't we as Christians be the people to show the highest level of tolerance, the most restraint, the most calm? But too often, because we come to church on Sunday and we do the right thing and We think for the most part, we're living a righteous life. We have this ability to be angry for no reason.
100%.
Sure. Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I, I woke
it's-
up. I woke up the other day, and you know, he and I went fishing, but I called you that
Oh,
morning. I was like, man, dude, I'm pissed off at Jeff. And
I said,
Kenneth
why?
was like, I don't
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Just pissed off at him. Then we went fishing that night, and it was just, yeah, it was talking about the, same kind of things going on in our life. And it was like, man, I kind of needed to hear you say, you know,
Why are you
he's going
Yeah.
through the same thing I am. So yeah,
It's insane.
no,
is.
it is. And it's always really, it always jumps up into my, I mean, your experience was right there in your face. The one that always gets me is, do any of you drive a vehicle
Oh,
here in
I
DFW?
just
this
started.
is
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, it is. Because I'm generally a pretty like, hey, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know where they're coming from. Let's be calm, da da da. But get the F over,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm.
Like, why are you in the left-hand lane? What is wrong with
Okay,
you?
hold on. I don't want to
Yeah.
derail our perfect Cast Your Faith segment, but can we talk just briefly about these people in the left lane?
Oh, dude. Okay.
It's a real
First of
pro-
all,
it's a problem.
left lane is for passing only. It's the law.
Right. But also, if you don't want to go 89, don't get in the left lane.
Exactly.
This
Pass
is
your people and get over. But if you just want to cruise in the left lane like I do a lot, go 89.
Mhm.
well, and this is the thing that gets me. So I just drove back today from Broken Bow. Okay. So a considerable amount of that time was spent on a 2-lane road.
Sure.
And here's my thing. If you are on a 2-lane road and you're going and the speed limit's 65 and you're going 65, you know what? I'm actually okay with it. I'm like, you know what? I'll wait for my opportunity to pass.
But you've
But
got
as
to be in the
soon-
right lane to do that.
But well, yeah, but we're on a 2-lane road, right? So I got to get in the passing lane. I got to pass them.
Sure.
Traffic's
Okay.
coming the
All
other
right.
way. All right. So you're going, you're going the speed limit. You're
They know
doing your
you want
job.
to go 78.
Oh,
Yeah. And sometimes people
Oh,
pull over on the shoulder, and God bless
Very
those
courteous.
people,
If I
right?
could throw money out the window to those
Yeah.
people, I would.
But you know what? If you're in that situation, I'm cool. I can stay calm. Now, if you're going 45 and a 65, I've got a little bit of an issue. But
Bro,
yeah,
I will lose. Literally, this is a true story. This is the reason that I have a medical boarding pass right there. Because I'm okay with people, like you said, doing the right thing. They're going the speed limit,
Yeah.
following the law. I'm okay with those people.
mhm.
I'm okay with people that want to go 178
Yeah.
and pass those people.
Yeah.
That's fine
Right.
with me. I'm not okay with the guy that thinks, you know what, 65 is excessive.
No, yeah,
I need to go 55.
I
can't handle that.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I explained to my son multiple times of why I was yelling at other vehicles today, and I'm like, here's the thing: if you're on an entrance ramp to a highway and
Go.
everyone on the
Go.
highway is going 75 miles an hour, if you're driving 30 miles an
can't
hour,
go
this is
48.
a safety issue
You
for
can't go
me, right?
48.
Like I drive a Toyota Tacoma. It had
Very humble
9,000.
brag there. Did you
Yeah.
hear that?
It was a very humble.
Mine
brag.
looks much better than his,
Very.
by the way. It's
Toyota
lifted. Yeah,
Tacoma?
yeah, it is. It's an old one.
Do
Anyway,
you have any aftermarket equipment on that?
I do. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So but here's the thing. I can't look, I'm not like your fancy truck with your Hemi in it. I can't put my foot on the floor
That
and
thing's
get
got
up
a
to
Hemi.
speed. Yeah, yours has got a Hemi. Yeah, like it takes me a minute to
It's
get
the
up to
most
speed.
powerful thing you got.
Well, no one's arguing with that.
Okay, so
At a deal, I cooked last night at
Mhm.
a thing.
Yeah.
You know, we cook occasionally. We used to be presented by Bike Club. They ran out of money. But Bike Club cooked a thing last night, and we had to go up this huge lot, giant incline on this hill, and pulled it up there and parked the trailer. And this guy looks at me and goes, "Man, that thing just jerks that trailer around like it's a rag doll, doesn't it?" I go, "Yeah." It's got a hint.
I mean,
But the problem is I'm old and don't know I'm old.
Yeah.
So this kid that I was talking to is probably 31. So he has
He's not on
no
camera, by the way.
mental concept of this commercial. Like he
Right.
has no
Yeah,
idea
he has
that
no
was
idea.
a thing. I was like, thanks, bro. That was gold. And I just wasted it on you.
Oh,
You know,
I appreciate it.
I drove down the toll road through
Oh
to
my God.
bypass
Wait,
Wow,
Austin.
you
you got toll road
he's got
money?
toll road money.
You got
Yeah.
toll?
It was $10, man. I splurged.
Not
think-
only, hey,
I
not
think
only
I'm
does
gonna
he
wrap
have
that
toll
up.
road money, but if you're watching on YouTube, Kenneth and I are drinking out of red Solo cups because there's a
Ooh, he's
there's
got
a
that
keg. But he,
ballast point money.
despite the fact that we've got a keg that somebody else paid for, he's like, oh no, I'm gonna drink
That's
out of
not
I'm
true.
gonna
I
drink
paid-
out of my
I
own
paid for
can.
this keg.
Well, well, we're all sponsored by Kenneth's Wallet. I thought I announced that earlier.
Like the sponsor here, I paid. Oh, wait, what just
Let's
happened?
please
Oh my
not do
God.
that again.
Jeff, okay, for
His
those
filter
of you
fell
who
off.
are not
His
following
filter.
along on YouTube, Jeff just annihilated his microphone.
After all the hell you've given
Do
me
you
over the
remember
years.
Godzilla crushing Tokyo? That's what just happened on
Yep.
Jeff's microphone.
It's impressive. I don't even know how this just.
Super
Well,
guy.
wait, who set this up? It needs to be like that. Okay, I'm gonna blame Clay.
Of course.
Um,
So we're driving down the toll road there through Austin, bypassing Austin, and
Oh.
I don't know,
Cocky,
I know,
wish I had
$10,
bypass
$10,
Austin
big
money.
baller,
I have-
big baller.
I have many opinions on that, but go on.
So, speed limit's 80. Well,
No
you've
one's-
got people
If
going
you go 80, you'll
70.
get killed.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you're-
I cruised
you're
at
standing
100
still.
Yeah.
easy. I mean, I'm pretty sure the governor kicked out on the
Do you know the
Acadia once or
biggest-
twice.
You know the biggest problem they had with that toll road when they first opened it?
No,
True
what's that?
story. They killed so many pigs.
Oh, I heard about
resulted
that.
in
I remember that.
fatality accidents because people were going 120 around this little
Oh yeah.
circle.
Oh yeah.
And the pigs didn't get the memo that it was equipment. And apparently, if you're going 120 in a Honda Civic and you hit a 200
It
pound
will
pig,
kill you.
you
Oh.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are
that's a
dead.
big deal.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
That's
I
a
do
problem.
love that toll road
I have a love-hate relationship with it.
because you go down there a lot, right? Because your parents are in New Braunfels.
Yeah, my parents in New Braunfels. So when they first opened it up, it was like, this is the best thing ever. And I always went around it. And the thing about the toll road is you gotta, it's really long. I mean, it takes
Yeah.
you way,
Way
out of the
out.
way.
But you're going
It's like
at such a high
23
rate
miles.
of speed.
You're going at a high rate of speed, but look, I'm fine with driving 75, 80,
Yeah,
but I don't want to drive 100.
75,
Yeah.
80 through Austin.
No, you can't. But so I always watch the signs, right? I check on Waze and I watch the
Yeah.
signs. And if it is reasonable to go through Austin, so like, look,
If
I'm
it's
not
just
going to hit
at
Austin at
30
5
minutes,
o'clock on
yeah.
a Friday, but if it's a 5-10 minute difference, I'm going to go through Austin. I like driving through. I like looking.
going through
Yeah, I like
Austin,
going
yeah.
through Austin.
There's something
Now I don't
romantic
like
about it.
I don't like stopping through Austin,
No,
but
no one
driving
does.
through Austin is fine. Although I have got a buddy from college and we used to go down to New Braunfels and I remember one time we ended up in the you got the upper level and the lower level.
Oh yeah.
We end up in the lower level.
Express lanes and exits.
Yeah. So we end up in the lower level because we were in the wrong lane. We couldn't
You're
get
stuck.
over. Yeah.
Have a nice day.
And it completely stops and it's summer, it's 130 degrees down there. There's nothing but trucks and diesel fumes. And this guy rolls down all the windows. And
Sure,
I just
yeah,
looked at it, and
yeah.
Camille was with us. It was before we were married. We were all down there. It's 3 of us. We are heading down to my parents' old condo in New Braunfels. And I just looked at him and was like, what are you doing?
Bad decision, coach.
And he looks at me and he goes, well, when I'm stuck in traffic, I like to roll down my windows because then I feel like we're all in it together as opposed to, me just being frustrated in traffic. And I was like, that's a neat idea. Roll up the windows. I'm dying of carbon monoxide
Gotta get
poisoning.
better, Chris.
Yeah.
Gotta get better.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him in years.
My
but,
dad had a favorite story he would tell me when he was working for Conoco in Houston that he was finished his last meeting of the day and was headed to the house. And he was on I-10 somewhere and it just stopped. It's like, yeah, there's a wreck or something. This is the early 80s. So there's no technology. There's just a wreck somewhere and the cars are stopped. And he goes, I sat there for about 25 minutes looking at this Mexican food joint just on the other side of the access road. and it was calling me, and they had margaritas and cold beer and enchiladas. He goes, so I just pulled over to the side of the road, put it in park. I'm on the shoulder, threw the hazards on, and I walked over there to that Mexican food restaurant. And I had dinner and a couple of drinks, and knowing my dad, it was probably 48 drinks. But and then he goes, and then I walked back to my car, and traffic was all gone. Yeah, knucklehead, it was 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
You dodged a bullet there. Way to go. You found a way around traffic that the rest of us just couldn't imagine.
Hey, a lot of people just sit there and get mad, right? It's not a bad.
He took matters into his own hands.
I like that.
Well, that was like, going to college in Shreveport and driving down to New Orleans several times a year. If there's a wreck on the bridge across the Pontchartrain,
Done.
you're
You're
done.
done.
And the thing is that everybody's used to it. And I think it's gotten better because the last couple of times I've gone down there, it hasn't been like this. But I remember it seems like every time we went down there, there'd be something that would happen on the bridge. And everybody would just get out of their cars and hang out. And, it's Louisiana. Everybody's
Well,
just, everybody's got a cooler. Everybody's just
I can
drinking,
100%
pulling out
verify
lawn
this
chairs.
story.
Yeah.
Literally one of my 3 best friends on the planet is a girl that will not be named, but if she ever listens to this, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about. She was a sweet little Chi Omega from Dallas, Texas, that went to Louisiana State University. And we had the scenario where there was a wreck on the bridge. And she goes, it's not that big a deal. It happens all the time. She pulls over to the shoulder. We pop the trunk of her car, and she has a case of beer in the trunk of her car.
Yeah.
And she goes, because wrecks happen on the bridge. You got to be ready.
Right. You got to be prepared.
She
Yeah.
was totally prepared with a case of beer in her trunk.
The best is when
Yes.
guys grab the lawn chairs and the case of beer, they just set up. It just turns into a full party.
Wrecks happen on the bridge, guys.
Yeah.
That's
And
no big
you
deal.
just gotta, hey, look, if you're surprised by the wreck on the bridge, that's really on you.
This is not me. It's you.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we had
We got so off the rails on
We
what I
did.
thought was a very powerful.
No,
Captain
it
Faith
was.
segment.
And I really appreciate because you don't have to raise your hand, you just start talking.
Zach would like to
That's
talk.
okay.
Ladies and
That's okay.
gentlemen, next on the mic, Zach Miller.
No, I was just going to say, just, listening to that and then being a part of the.
Okay,
obvious
thank you. That's been
experience.
enough of the
No, I think Kenneth and I had that moment of a humbling moment, almost, if you will, because it was a experience that
Zach typed out his speech.
We
He's reading
just-
it off
Yes.
his phone.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. I have a couple
Yeah.
notes there. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to be proactive, not reactive.
Thank you.
But,
We appreciate your professional.
I don't
anyway,
even know
that-
what we're talking about anymore.
that no, we just had an experience that we at times take for granted so much what has God has granted us, and similar to that, we found ourselves in what we thought was a predicament, but I mean, imagine the daily life of what she was experiencing, and it's kind of similar to what I try to preach to my children is, it's making a mountain out of a molehill situation.
Hey,
right?
by the way, for the
Yeah.
rest of you losers, Zach just brought in God,
He did.
family,
Who's touching something?
Sigma Chi.
Hmm.
This guy wins.
No, he's
The rest of you need to be better
Yeah. It's true that, you just kind of have to, you just have to go out there and just accept people where they are and hope that they accept you where you are, right? It's tough, we all fail at it. But from your story, you guys both talking about walking out to the parking lot and feeling terrible and all. And here's the thing. I mean, Kenneth might have said something, but she couldn't hear you. So but the thing is that you can sit there and get upset and whatnot, but outwardly, I'm sure but she's probably not listening either. But so but the thing is that I know you guys, and I'm sure that you both, while you were getting frustrated, were kept your nice faces on and you were polite. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kenneth knows enough sign language to sign back. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I didn't say you're welcome.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and here's a part of the story that Kenneth left out is we had forgotten a few items. So
Oh,
Kenneth
God.
felt the need
So
to
I-
go back
oh,
through.
yeah, that's
Oh,
And then
course.
now that we had come to the realization,
He's
yeah, we forgot
looking
like
it up.
4 items.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So I had
Yeah.
to go back into the store and I made a conscious effort. I waited 4 people deep to go into this woman's
Right. Of course
line
you did. Yeah.
so that I could go through it and demonstrate to her that I now understood.
Right.
Simpatico. Thank you.
at which point
Yeah.
he's saying hello and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
I actually was trying to figure out how to sign, "Hey, it's me again."
Hey, it's me, Kenneth.
Cell reception was an issue in the store. I couldn't Google it and YouTube it quick enough. So I just got "Hey" and "You're welcome."
Yeah.
That was it. And I probably delivered the "You're welcome" too early, so it was a little condescending.
Right. Yeah.
So then I wanted to go back in and try a 3rd round, but I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that you were a topic of conversation when she got home?
No, I think she and whoever she lived with probably had arthritis the day after talking about her because there was a lot to unpack.
It's like
It's
this is a
guy's
long
got
day.
issues.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you for the cast your faith moment.
Yeah, I felt like it started out strong, and then
It
we
did.
kind of let it unwrap.
I'm gonna blame Clay.
I
Yeah,
think
that
we
makes
need to
sense.
condense
Ultimately,
that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
now that we're going back into programming and
Yeah,
formatting, I
we
think
need
we
to
need
do
to
better. I'm sorry.
condense this.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Look, I think we bantered and then we cast your faith moment. I got it all
It
written
just
down
it's
here.
an amalgamation.
Yeah.
It was
Look,
live and it needed to be.
I did my best to lead y'all
All right.
back to one.
Okay,
You know,
so now
Squirrel Watch is gone.
geez,
That
he's
is-
been water.
That's
This is
the
it.
thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I just quit. All right. Okay, so it has been so long since we did this. Clay and I, we had big intentions of doing a big Cast Your Faith trip to Colorado Bend for the White Bass Run, but 2 things happened. One, it was just me and Clay, and
Right.
2, we completely missed the White Bass Run.
Well,
so
completely.
yeah,
So it was
I
a
mean-
good thing. It wasn't another boondoggle.
I mean, sure.
From time to time, you're gonna have that.
So, but the cool thing about it is that Clay and I, before we really tried to get the Cast Your Faith thing up, he and I would go, do the occasional overnight and all that, and it had been a while
Yeah.
since just the 2 of us had gone out and camped out and gone fishing
Oh,
together.
almost
And,
3 years.
yeah,
Let's try to butch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. That sounds super weird to the listener.
Oh, well.
Well, a long time ago, we liked to go out just the 2 of us.
just the
and
2 of us.
It hadn't
share-
happened in a while.
I mean, and we'd
Now I
we'd
just
share a
wake up
sleeping
pissed,
bag,
so-
for warmth and,
Yeah,
and
once
weight.
you-
You
you pack that stuff. It's much easier.
yeah.
Koala care.
Uh,
With the mouse.
No, but it was neat for us. So jeez, but no, it was neat for us because we'd been doing the trips and all that, and Clay is usually extremely nervous about the trips. It doesn't show because he doesn't actually prepare more or do any better, but he is really nervous about it.
That does make sense.
Yeah. So so this was kind of a no pressure deal, and it was kind of a funny thing. I was like, I'm going to be busy at work. I'm not going to be able to leave. Da, da, da. And then Clay was like, yeah, I'm getting out and I'm getting early. We left at the exact same time. We followed each other out. So, we got down
Wait.
there.
Nick,
I'm like,
you didn't ride together?
I don't want to ride with him.
I
You know
don't,
him?
not
Yeah.
for 7 hours. I can't smoke in the car when I'm with him.
It's only like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. It's like 3.5 hours. But, anyway, whatever. We took 2
That's a long
trucks.
time.
Hey,
So-
what kind of trucks do you guys drive down there?
Well, I think you both know. I think you should know. that.
Toyota
Yeah,
Tacomas.
yeah. Come on.
Thank
The
you,
official-
Toyota. We appreciate
Official truck of every fishing guide in Texas.
it. We appreciate the money. Thank you, Toyota.
Yeah. Thank you, Toyota, for nothing. But we no, we got down there and it was so we were like 3 weeks too late on the White Bass Run. There wasn't.
no.
I mean, it was
So it was
over.
nothing.
It was it
Oh,
was
there were.
it was
there
well.
was.
This is the thing. So Clay and I both caught gar on the fly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
long nose gar, not alligator, but which was that
That's
was
even, and mine took a carpet bomb, and the picture even shows the hook actually in the mouth. I didn't rope them.
yeah, which it's much easier to rope them. But
it is.
it's a beautiful place. Like we had a great time. We just got to hang out. We went fishing a lot. You caught a quad.
I caught my guad. I finished my Texas bass species on that trip.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not catch a quad. I casted a lot of carp, caught a couple gar. Man, I don't think I even caught a sunfish. I mean, it was one of the worst. From
I-
a fishing standpoint, it was one of the worst trips I've been on. But we had a great time.
But it looked, I mean, just
Oh, it's
scenically,
Oh,
it was
amazing down there.
It was
Yeah,
gorgeous.
I am committed to getting down there in time for the bass run, for the white bass run this year or
Yeah.
next year, whatever, next season.
No, it should be a great fly fishing weekend, really.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
absolutely.
should be if you
Yeah.
go at the right
Yeah.
time.
And
Yeah,
you've got to have the
Um,
right flows.
yeah,
we
it was
was
pretty.
Were
still-
they generating or
it was-
no?
I don't know. I've
I don't
only
think they
been to that.
generate
I
to
don't
get there.
know because it's above
it's above.
all of the other lakes.
Yeah, because you're
on
you're
the-
on the Colorado River
Yeah.
above
It's
the sort of
upper-
Austin area.
Yeah,
Colorado.
It's the
when they
upper
generate
Colorado.
downriver. It
Well, then you get to
Buchanan,
East and
right?
Buchanan and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of those.
So it was a great trip. The best part of the trip, well, there were a couple things. So one, I'm a pretty dedicated hammock camper,
sure.
and
yeah.
Oh, I've got this.
Okay,
So
Seems
this
like a
is
real thin rope to grab a hold of. But all
this
right.
is Saturday night, and
You
we're
know,
about to
I
pack
sleep
up.
in hammocks.
We'd had
Yeah,
a great
heard that.
time.
Yeah.
We'd had a great time, and it was just he and I. So, he actually cut out a little bit and had a few drinks. So
Oh yeah,
we're
'cause
sitting
normally
there.
super reserved.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking winds. We're just sitting around this fire pit, natural gas fire pit, because it was a burn
so
ban.
hold on. So there's a burn ban, and
Yeah.
Way to go.
I have
Endurance. Endurance.
yeah. So I have in my backyard, we have one of those little like propane fire table thingies.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Yeah,
hey,
you live
there's
in Lake Island. You
Yeah.
got a fake fire in your
yeah, I do.
backyard?
Yeah.
That's
So
weird.
yeah. So
What
we're
made you
sitting
want to
there.
get that?
So we're sitting there leading up to the trip, and we're like, oh, man, there's a burn ban, I mean, we're
That's
not gonna
why
have a
we took
campfire.
2 trucks.
Actually, yeah, the fire table was the main reason we took 2 trucks, because we couldn't fit everything. But so we're like, hey, all these other suckers, they're not gonna have any campfire,
No,
but
yeah, they're
we're
out
gonna
the
have a
cold.
campfire. Yeah, so we brought the aluminum fire table out there, and I'm so glad we did, because we had a campfire.
I'm
We had a
super
campfire.
conflicted right now.
Yeah.
I want to make fun of you mercilessly, but
But
it
you
also
know, it's a
kinda
genius
sounds
idea. Yeah, it
genius.
was. Look,
It was.
yeah,
was.
it was-
We
look,
had our
it's
campfire.
not that I'm proud, but I am happy.
Sounds like something I'd say to Nick.
That's like
Uh-huh.
being, I'm
This
not
is our
mad,
producer,
but
Zach Miller.
this
He lives in a hovel underneath the church.
yeah. Give him a few minutes. He'll give his address out. Yeah.
Licking that microphone. You got to be right on it.
You've got to be your tiny Brian in it again.
Yeah.
So
No, he's gone. That was it.
Now
That's all he's got.
that's-
Yeah. Another
Now
20
it's
minutes.
head
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
so the wind is just blowing his hammock. I mean, like blowing it, and I was sitting there and
I'm not in the hammock, by the
no,
way. This
not,
is a
not at this
yes.
point. Not at this point.
I don't know if you realize this, but hammocks don't weigh very
You're
much.
de-hammocked? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I'm pretending I'm talking to Camille. Well, Camille, last time I saw him, he was about 400 feet over the South Ridge.
You built this weird slingshot.
He
Thought it was fun initially.
so we end up finishing I don't know, the 12 that were in the 10 pack and go to bed.
Well,
I think it's 8 and a 6-pack, actually, if I remember correctly.
well,
Yeah.
if there's 8 and a 6
Right.
pack,
Then
yeah.
there's I think it's actually
There's-
14 in a 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were sitting there and after we finished, we knew we had to go home. So we both rack up. I go to my tent on the ground and he gets in this hammock. Well, about, I don't know, about an hour later, all I hear is,
I remember.
You're going there? Thanks,
yeah,
buddy.
Yeah. So I look out the window I unzip the window of my tent just in case he's getting eaten by one of those Central Texas black bears down there.
No, I
You
was
know.
I was not. I was
And,
becoming a Central Texas black
Wait,
bear.
He is
The dreaded and feared Central Texas black bear. God, I can't tell you when I'm camping down
Yeah.
there.
Man.
Like I'll stay up till 1, 2 in the morning just out of anxiety.
It was
Black Bear in Central Texas. And
100
15
years. Yeah.
So he's sitting there. I look out the window and he's swaying back and forth in the wind, throwing up the entire time. So he's hitting, his poor dog kennel. Luckily it was covered, but his dog's kennel was underneath the
It was a rough
great.
it was a rough deal. I'm actually, glad that happened, but because I don't know how the next day would have been. But so here's the other thing.
Glad
So
it
we're
happened. I'm a better man for it.
yeah. So we this is the other thing. So up there at Color Bend, there's some neat hikes there. And I've hiked all the way around all that and all the way around the park. And there's this waterfall there. And apparently it has the purest strain of Guadalupe bass anywhere in the state. And you're not allowed to fish it, which is, obviously, right.
Gorman.
Yeah, that's right. Gorman Falls. So and I've done the hike before and it's decently steep. And I don't know if you guys have paid attention to podcasts, but Clay is out of shape and uncoordinated and prone to falling, right?
This
So
went poorly.
no, well, here's the thing. So we're sitting there and it was just the two of us. Okay. The fish weren't biting. We ended up spending half the day at a beer hall on Saturday.
Sure.
That was,
Why
at the entrance of the gate. The park, great hamburger. It's worth going. There was live music. I got to bring my dog.
Thank you.
I got to bring my. It was
lunch.
awesome.
It
I mean, there was live music. I got to bring my dog. There was beer.
Misters.
There was hamburgers.
There was
Really,
Misters
what
and
else do you
bagels.
want? Yeah,
It sounds fantastic.
yeah. So we get back and we had been talking about making this hike to Gorman Falls. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this and everything. And
Never
Clay was so Clay is sitting there and he's like, and I was like, buddy, this might be kind of tough for you. Like I've walked with you before and you failed. And so he decides, all right, I'm getting in shape tonight.
Oh, he was gonna do it in one night.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
trained.
Trained.
All right.
He
Trained.
trained. He did some 12-ounce curls and
Sure.
and he would
Yeah,
get up
yeah.
and the best part is he kept like flexing his legs and getting up and doing squats. I
He
mean,
was
he
working.
yeah,
but
he
there
put the
was-
work
there
in.
was-
Wait,
there was
hold on. This
P-
is our producer, Zach Miller. He
Yeah.
P90X workout routine
I
by
yeah, it was more
natural
like
gas
it was
fire
like
Yes.
P75X.
Okay.
But
It's
yeah,
full of
Well, I will say
testosterone,
this,
man.
Now that
Testosterone driven.
producer Zach has decided to tag in, I feel like that's carte blanche to tell you about Zach's hiking adventure.
Are we gonna hear?
So
you
when
guys-
we went to Colorado Springs for the Labor Day liftoff, beautiful balloon festival they have up there, we tried to schedule some kid-friendly activities, and one of the activities that we scheduled was taking the train ride up to the top of Pikes Peak.
sure. Yeah, the old cog railroad.
The
Yeah,
Cog Railway.
yeah.
Beautiful, wonderful ride up. I've got 17 kids hanging off of me. The wives are angry. Zach is trying to match his shorts to his skirt. He's 16 ways away from where we are.
This all checks out. Yeah,
Finally, we
100.
get up to the top after I think 90 minutes. It was like a 90-minute train
yeah, it's
ride.
something like that.
about
Yeah.
It's a
that.
bit of a haul. We got up there. The kids and the wives are running around. They're frolicking in the alpine air. I'm going to take the littlest baby to the bathroom, and she and I go over there, and we're waiting and we're waiting. And finally, somebody emerges from the bathroom that I recognize. It's old Money Miller.
Hmm.
And I go, Bud, you okay? Because he's gaunt. He's pale.
Oh dear.
He's sickly looking.
More so than usual.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
way. I mean,
Yeah.
This is best case scenario. And I go, hey, you all right? He goes, yeah, I wasn't doing good, but I think I'm okay now. I'm gonna go outside and get some air. Cool. I'm thinking, whatever. You're an adult. Deal with your own problems.
Is he though?
We go to the bathroom. We get souvenirs. We do all that, and we get on the train. We're headed down. We finally get to the bottom. We get in the car. Zach's sitting next to me, and he leans over and he looks at me and goes, hey, look, I just didn't want to say anything up there, but your boy was kind of hit or miss at the top of the mountain. I sat down. I was sweating. I was getting tunnel vision. I had a rash. I was like, yeah, sounds like They're going pretty
Yeah.
high for you there at the
It's like
top.
10,000
No,
feet,
and
isn't
it
it?
gets even worse.
17,100.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, it's up there.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
Here's
Yeah.
where I knew
The
I was.
producer had some issues.
Yeah, and I was in trouble because I found myself on a bench on a beautiful overlook of just majestic scenery, watching a chipmunk come up from the rocks, get around, and I looked to the right of me on this bench. There is an elderly woman, probably in mid 80s, with an oxygen tank that I thought to myself,
Hey,
would
hey.
it be inappropriate if
Puff, puff, fast, right?
We got on the train.
Can I get a hit?
Zach looks at me and goes, "Hey, did you see all those chipmunks?" It's like, no, I guess I missed those. He goes, "Oh, they were everywhere. You should have seen it. There was probably one chipmunk up there.
Yeah,
Poor
yeah.
man was
Oh,
hallucinating.
jeez.
He just saw things running across the ground.
Yeah, when you look at the old lady with the oxygen tank, and
about
you're like,
little-
hey,
yeah,
hey,
so-
how about you don't bogart that, you know?
kind of, you know,
Kind of cocky to
Puff,
come
puff,
up here with a full
fast.
tank and not give anybody a rip.
yeah, you're being a little
Nice.
greedy there. Could you
Okay.
share, please?
Man, I don't know where we are on formatics,
I don't know.
especially after that.
Uh,
But I
I'll
will
go-
tell you that right now it's time to hit the theme.
Da-da-da,
Da-na-na,
Squirrel
Center
Watch.
Watch.
Center Watch.
Yeah, so this is Squirrel Watch presented by the local fishing report, which is sponsored by Old Republic Outfitters.
Thank you, Old Republic Outfitters.
Thank you, Old Republic. So was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Clay sends me a text with a Google Maps pin, and he goes, "Hey, can you scout
Got
this
a
area out?
spot.
Can you scout this area out?" Because here's the thing, I love going and scouting out like local trash creeks. It's one of my loves. I love doing it. I'll grab my lightweight rod. I'll go wander around the grocery carts and whatever else. I love doing it. And so far I've only gotten HIV twice and monkeypox once. But
That's a testament to your strong.
it's
immune
cool.
system.
I'm better now. So anyway, so we go out and he sends me the spot and I go out there and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna check it out Sunday evening. And he comes and meets me a little bit later and we found a really nice creek. It's pretty clean. Nothing that I'm used to.
Yeah.
And I'm catching some decent fish, some, nice little creek sunnies and gotten some bass. Hooked into one bass. He spit the hook on me, anyway, but
The best fishing.
yeah,
That's the
yeah, it's
thing.
a good one. Yeah. And so the best part about this is so we're fishing this thing and it's great. And it's one of these where you'll hit a hole, it's deep, and you fish it and you have some good success
Some
there.
good
And then
success.
you gotta wait for a while.
Gotta
It
move
goes
on.
real shallow,
Because it dies.
hit another, it
It's
dies
like-
out to nothing,
Yeah.
go out and everything.
Is this that place up by the house?
Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm,
no,
mm-mm.
we should hit that too. But so we're
Gotta go
going.
to that bridge place. It's
That looks good. Every time I go to your house, I
There's
think
nothing
about
but
stopping.
fish.
Yeah,
but
but
dam there. Nothing.
oh, I know.
Mhm.
So but this one I'm going and this is my favorite part of this whole thing is that fishing it, Clay's about, I don't know, 45 minutes an hour behind me.
Yeah.
So I stop at one point, I'm fishing, I wait for him, he calls me, tells me he's close, and I tell him where I am, and he gets there and we're fishing, we're catching fish, and it's good. And I'm like, hey, how'd you get onto this place? He goes, hey, well, I saw some people had some wedding pictures taken at that by the waterfall over there, and it
Oh,
looked
now
pretty
I-
good.
Now I know exactly.
You know where it is? Yeah. And he goes, so I looked in the picture and saw where they tagged it, and I sent you the location.
Were you in my hometown?
I was in your
Yeah.
hometown.
Were
Yeah.
were you on
There
a further
was.
western plain than my residence?
Yes, you are correct. Yeah.
Were you in a Pierce High School feeder pattern?
I believe
I
we were.
believe so.
I
I
believe we
believe
were.
you were.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll go fish it again. It was
Were
great.
you south of Renner Road?
We were.
Oh,
We were. Yeah, we sure were. Yeah. I think you know exactly where.
I may have been there before.
I think anybody in the general area, just by the wedding picture waterfall description, knows
Yeah.
exactly where we were.
Now, but wait for the killer in this deal. Can I tell you where I took my engagement photo?
Really? Hey, did you fish
Full
it?
circle.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Did I fish it 2 weeks later? Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
And
It
I
is.
don't think, and here's the thing, I don't want to say what it is because of the size of the park, I don't think people realize that's there. And I don't
Yeah.
think you can,
No.
people don't understand. You can just pull up on the side of this road,
Yep.
gear
Oh,
up,
yeah.
hop out, and it's not the easiest down, but it's
Oh,
No.
actually,
No, it's super.
now
I mean,
it's
compared to a
super
lot of the
easy.
places I go,
accessible. Yeah.
They've
super
put
easy. No.
steps down.
Oh, they
Yeah.
put steps.
They've
Oh,
put
I've done it in a
steps
year.
down.
So here's and here's one of my favorite things though, is as we've covered on this podcast many times, Clay can't walk upright like a
Yeah,
human.
no,
He's
that's
somewhere on the evolutionary track
always so.
behind that.
Neanderthal.
He
Yeah.
fell in Canyon Creek.
No, he didn't. But
It
only
wasn't Canyon
because
Creek.
so
Right.
no.
No.
He fell in not Canyon Creek.
Not
Canyon Creek.
So here's the thing though. So I've just hit a point where if I'm gonna go wet wading and fishing, I wear my boots with my studs, the neoprene socks, usually long pants, keep all junk out of my boots. And
I know I have a different wading approach.
yeah, I know
as
you.
know.
Yeah, well, you
Yes,
like
yes.
shoes, but and a staff, because the stick
I
makes
think
a
I
huge
may be a
difference.
staff guy.
Yeah.
now.
I got to show you my new thing, which is a net and a staff all in one. It's amazing.
What?
We need to talk to this guy about
Yeah.
sponsorship on the podcast.
Uh,
But
A net and a
distributed.
staff?
yeah, you
Yeah.
just carry one thing. It's amazing.
It's a net
It's-
at one end.
Yeah, and a staff on the
Staff
other.
branches,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a staff is
It's
up.
pretty cool.
Thank you. I didn't have a whole lot of questions about the design.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know how many different ways you could do it, but
How genius is that?
it's
Oh,
genius.
It's
Yeah,
genius.
it's great.
This guy's going to make $1 billion.
You would think so.
Maybe you could share a little bit of it with the Cast Your
Hey,
Faith podcast.
brought to you by
Brought to you by
Anyway,
Old
Old Republic
Outfitters.
Outfitters.
sponsored
So,
by
hey,
Cast Your Faith,
Kenneth Wallet, yeah. But
presented by St. James.
so so Clay shows up in his off-brand Tivas
Yep.
that
yep,
have no
yep.
traction whatsoever
No,
and no staff.
No, they got.
No, I like,
they
I
got
like,
good stuff.
I had to hand him the staff
if you're gonna
multiple
go
times.
fast, you got to have racing skills.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
is. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, we had a good local fishing deal. If you're looking for local fishing, contact Old Republic Outfitters.
At 214
I'm gonna tell you,
296
Old Republic
7893.
Outfitters is 100% the best outfitting and guide service I have ever owned a portion of.
That and the tens of dollars we've made so far.
Tens of
I mean,
Tens of scores possibly of dollars.
If we had to stack up every $1 bill we've made with this entire company,
we
it
could
would be smaller than the diameter or the width of my child's shoe.
oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're talking about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of one.
Yeah.
about 2 inches, maybe three.
So, be jealous.
Okay. Well, I think that's a great ending point.
We did a podcast.
We did.
We did
It was.
podcast.
We're back, guys.
We're
I mean,
back.
that was pretty
I've
We're
missed
solid.
back.
you. I missed
Pretty
you.
close.
Love you guys.
You didn't either fall asleep or say GD, so
Yeah.
huge success.
Hell yeah.
We better.
All right, we'll see you in 3 months, years.